Streaming on clickorlando.com, you're watching News 6 at 10. Now on News 6, bundle up. Temperatures are plunging. Freeze warnings in effect. Jonathan, I hear we could see wind chills in the 20s?
We could, yeah, across a lot of central Florida. Best opportunity for actual air temperatures to go below freezing northwest of I-4. I'll pinpoint how cold it gets in your neighborhood in a few minutes.
It was the backdoor deal.
There was no backdoor deal.
Another heated debate over the fate of a historic former school, but is it out of the town council's hands?
And the numbers are finally out. Was Florida's bear hunt a bust? How the state says it's stacked up with similar hunts nationwide.
Also just in, how deputies finally stopped a driver going faster than 100 on a busy road and why he didn't want to stop in the first place. But we start now at 10 tonight with an urgent weather alert for you. Chances are you won't see anyone strolling as we take a live look at downtown Mount Dora. If you do, they're going to be bundled up because it is cold out there. Good evening, everyone. I'm Ginger Gadsden.
Glad you're with us tonight. I'm Matt Austin. Thank you for joining us. The cold tonight is nothing to play around with. Yes, you have to bring in those pets.
Yeah, many of you will also need to cover your plants the right way. But just how low will it go? Let's get right over to meteorologist Jonathan Kegas for the answer. Jonathan.
Yeah, and the best opportunity again for temperatures to get down to that freezing mark of 32 degrees where it's really going to bother your plants. It's going to be along and northwest of I-4. Everybody in that purple shaded color. When you see the freeze warnings come in on the News 6 weather app, that means, again, this is primarily for your plants. Of course, it is cold for humans. We have the cold weather advisory in play for us. Now, south and east of I-4, it's going to be cold. You may want to cover your plants there as well. It's just going to be a little more sporadic. The more widespread freezing temperatures are northwest of I-4. The Villages, we're going to wake up to air temperatures at 31. Denellen will be at 29 tomorrow morning. 37 in Kissimmee. Holopaw will be at 34. Titusville will start things off in the upper 30s. So very cold for everybody. Shave off about 5 degrees, and that's what it will feel like with the breeze factored in. That breeze will still be elevated tomorrow morning. Already in the 30s in Denellen. We're at 44 already in Mount Dora. We'll talk about your hour-by-hour temperatures and when we start to pull out of this little freeze we've gotten ourselves into. Not before we start to 2025, that's for sure. We'll talk about that coming up at about 10:19, guys.
Jonathan, thank you. Well, it is one of the most historic corners of a historic town. Finding the right future for the former Hungerford Elementary School has been up for debate for decades now. Tonight, it was front and center of a special meeting by Eatonville's town council. Many are upset at the deal reached between the school board and a nonprofit that is making big promises. Tylisa Hampton was inside that contentious meeting.
What you did to Eatonville is not right.
And a heated 3-hour emergency meeting in Eatonville.
It was the backdoor deal.
There was no backdoor deal.
But it's clear how the Hungerford deal unfolded still has the council up in arms.
This is the fire body council. You don't make that choice for all 5 of us.
In September, the Orange County School Board approved the sale of the historic 117-acre property to Dr. Phillips Charity, a deal backed by Mayor Angie Gardner. The nonprofit has at least a 4-year plan to develop an early learning center, health facility, green space, pavilion, and museum to the site, much of the tension stemming from the council members feeling left out.
You sat up there and essentially sold the town out.
The feedback at that meeting was more in favor.
Eatonville was founded in 1887 by formerly enslaved people. The Hungerford School once stood as a trailblazing institution for black students in the South. That school closed its doors in 2009. Since 2020, it's been an empty lot owned by Orange County Public Schools.
It's an opportunity to buy the property.
We keep talking, we talk about talking, but we don't do anything.
With the contract in place between the school board and Dr. Phillips Charities, tonight the town council debated what they would want. For some, that includes taxable businesses. Others take issue with affordable housing. However, they're choosing to hold another meeting next week.
Do you feel like anything was accomplished?
If I just take the suggestions, if I just take what their desire is, how can the contract be made stronger? Then I would say yes. If I keep it right there.
If you don't keep it right there.
Then we've just had another meeting to set another meeting that will probably end the same way.
Moving on tonight to great-grandmother is in jail. She's accused of planning a murder-suicide involving her 13-year-old great-granddaughter who has special needs. This happened in Deltona. News 6's Emily McLeod was in the courtroom when that woman faced a judge this afternoon in Volusia County.
A heartbreaking story here in Volusia County. A judge just issued no bond for 69-year-old Deborah Collier after deputies say she was planning a murder-suicide involving her 13-year-old great-granddaughter. Now, Collier is the girl's full-time caretaker and told deputies in an interview nobody could handle or love her like she does.
Court calls Deborah Collier.
69-year-old great-grandmother Deborah Collier is facing a first-degree murder charge after deputies say she gave her 13-year-old great-granddaughter pills to try and kill her and then intended to kill herself.
Judge, she is charged with a first-degree felony punishable by life. The proof is evident. The presumption is great. The state is requesting no bond at this time.
According to the arrest report, Volusia Sheriff's deputies were on the lookout for Collier's car after they say she left her house after leaving a note that said, "Cremation, no urn, just box, no celebration. My life sucked." Collier was eventually found on Bunnell Road in Seville along with her great-granddaughter in the front seat, about 45 minutes away from her home in DeLand. Deputies say Collier told them the 13-year-old was sleeping, that she is nonverbal autistic and could become combative if woken up. The report says when more deputies arrived, one noticed the child was breathing but unconscious with white pill residue on her. The girl was taken to the hospital and deputies began to search the car for what she might have taken, finding prescription medications in a purse behind the driver's seat, as well as a note that read in part, "Sorry it had to be done this way, but it had to be done. No way she can go to a home. My family has gone to hell." In an interview with detectives, Collier told them other family members wanted the child to go to a home since she requires 24-hour care, but Collier refused and told them it had created a rift within the family. During that same interview, detectives asked her about the note. She told deputies she didn't know what she was planning, but when they asked if she was trying to set the girl free, the report says Collier nodded yes in agreement. The report goes on to say detectives asked if Collier's plan was to let the girl go to sleep and then join her, to which detectives say she said, quote, "Yes, no one knows what it's like in my house." Collier is facing one count of first-degree murder. In court on Tuesday, the defense attorney said they would be meeting with her in the coming days and ask for a bond status hearing. Now, the defense also advised Collier to not discuss the facts of the case with anybody until an attorney meets with her. As soon as we get more details on this story, we'll be sure to keep you updated on air and online over at clickorlando.com. Reporting in Volusia County, I'm Emily McLeod, News 6.
The new year will mean new schools for hundreds of students in Orange County. Their longtime charter school decided to close down during winter break. Now, this is the message you'll see when you go to the website for Legends Academy Charter School. It's off of John Young Parkway, just south of the 408 near Clear Lake. The message says the board of directors will hold a virtual board meeting to consider the immediate closure of the school. The school's board of directors sent us a statement saying, in part, quote, "After careful review of the school's financial condition and long-term viability, the board of directors made the difficult decision to close the school due to unsustainable financial challenges. This decision was not made lightly and does not diminish the impact the school has had on generations of families." That decision is impacting more than 200 students. Those kids will finish up the school year at the Orange County school they are assigned to unless they find another charter or private school. The school will be open on Monday for parents to handle paperwork and other issues.
Well, after weeks of asking, days of waiting, and a number of records requests filed, the state is finally releasing the results of the bear hunt, and it was lower than many expected. Florida Fish and Wildlife says 52 bears were harvested statewide out of the 172 permits issued. Officials say this is very close to the hunter success rate in other states with similar rules. FWC says all bears were physically checked, providing valuable data to help set future management strategies, and experts are currently analyzing that information. What we don't know is how many bears were killed in Central Florida. The state handed out 19 permits for the highlighted area in our area.
It was one of the biggest stories in Central Florida this year, and as we head into 2026, one of Central Florida's most closely watched criminal cases will involve suspended Osceola County Sheriff Marcos Lopez. News 6 investigator Mike DeForest shows us what we can expect in the new year as the case heads to trial.
Prosecutors say they are ready to prove Marcos Lopez used his badge to protect an illegal gambling operation while pocketing hundreds of thousands of dollars. But even though 5 of Lopez's co-defendants have cut plea deals, including his estranged wife, the suspended sheriff will begin the new year vigorously fighting the criminal charges. So far, there's no indication Lopez has been offered a plea deal or that he would even accept one. Right now, Lopez and his legal team continue to review the prosecution's evidence against him. That evidence includes extensive financial records, text messages, and witness testimony. One of the key witnesses is Krishna Diakaran, the owner of several gaming rooms, who recently pleaded guilty to money laundering. Diakaran is prepared to testify that he gave Lopez more than $600,000 in cash, often in paper envelopes, as part of their gambling operation. Meanwhile, Lopez is still trying to get his criminal charges thrown out completely. Earlier this fall, he filed a motion seeking to dismiss the case. Lopez argues that even if the prosecution's evidence is accepted as true, it does not add up to racketeering under Florida law. The judge has not yet scheduled a hearing to consider that motion, which could happen sometime in the new year. Mike DeForest, News 6.
Well, deputies team up to stop a driver on the run at speeds topping 100 miles an hour on a surface street.
Now we've learned that driver should never have been behind the wheel. Next at 10, new video of the chase and why he may have been on the run in the first place.
Also, it's been the talk of Orlando all week. Now we know swans aren't the only birds to die at Lake Eola. An update in minutes.
And it draws 1 million people in person. Now, millions more watch it on TV. But this year, the Times Square Ball will do more than just drop, why you may want to keep watching after ringing in 2026.
You're watching News 6 at 10. We are live on a Tuesday night covering Fruitland Park, Heathrow, and all of Central Florida. This portion of the news is sponsored by Central Florida Honda dealers. Now on News 6 from the air and from newly released dash cam video, we're seeing how Marion County deputies caught up with a guy who was running from a traffic stop, sparking a chase that topped 100 miles an hour, even zipping through a Sam's parking lot. Deputies hot on his tail. Deputies say this guy should never have been behind the wheel in the first place. His license was either suspended or revoked. We'll show you how this came to an end in just a moment. It happened 10 days ago on December 20th. Now, this traffic stop wasn't random either.
Yeah, deputies say they got a tip the driver would be in the area of Highway 441 and Highway 326. He was wanted on several felony charges. Here's how they used a pit maneuver to bring this whole thing to an end.
Get back on the interstate now. Try to get him in that corner. That's it. Marion.
We're pit boxing in.
10-4, signal 4. Y'all watch your crossfire, watch your crossfire.
That's just how they draw it up there. Nice work by those officers. They say the driver, or those deputies, I should say, the driver had 2 guns, including a stolen one, along with meth right there in close proximity. Here's the guy's mugshot. This is Arnaldo Benitez, when they were hunting for him, he had outstanding warrants, accused of holding victims at gunpoint in robberies, actually shooting somebody in another. Now he's facing more charges, including fleeing, drug charges, and possession of a gun by a convicted felon. Well, we have some new information tonight about the investigation into dead birds at Lake Eola. City officials now confirm 11 birds have died, and not just swans.
Your Orange County community correspondent Jana Manahalal spoke with Orlando City Commissioner Patty Sheehan on what she's learned.
Yeah, of the 11 birds that have died, 9 of them were swans, 1 ibis, and 1 anhinga. And so as of right now, we don't know the cause of death for these birds, and it could take weeks before we find out. You just got some new information.
I literally just got off the phone as you all came up. So it was a total of 11 birds, not 12. It was 9 swans, an anhinga, and an ibis. Okay. So it was 11 birds in total, and it was not all, and it was not as high as we thought, which makes me happy.
That clarification coming as the city of Orlando continues investigating the death of birds found in and around Lake Eola. City officials say they're now working with the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission, along with a local veterinary team, to determine what caused the deaths. Visitors at the park say the news has been difficult to process.
Well, it's really sad because I was here for the roundup just a few weeks ago, and that was pretty neat. I'm just new to the area, but I love it. I live right around the corner.
Not imagine me coming here to the Eola Park and not seeing the swans and all the birds.
But some park goers say while it's upsetting, they see it as a part of nature.
It's Florida. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. There are animals everywhere living and dying.
As a precaution, park officials say crews are sanitizing and cleaning areas around the lake every morning from 4 a.m. to 6 a.m.
And we take this very seriously. We're acting as if it is the worst case scenario with avian flu. We want to protect the public.
Commissioner Sheehan says the exact cause of death is still unknown as we wait for results from the necropsies, or better known as animal autopsies.
I mean, they had said we'd get it by Friday. Now they're saying 30 days. So I don't know. I mean, I'm frustrated because I understand that people want the information now.
Until then, city officials are urging visitors not to touch wildlife and to avoid feeding birds.
They make us feel comfortable here, and it's so cute that they're here. So it makes us feel really sad that that was happening. We didn't know at all that that was happening.
Yeah. If you do plan to come and visit Lake Eola, be sure to look out for these signs right here that tell you avoid the birds, don't feed them, and if you do end up getting bird poop on your shoes, just make sure you wipe them off. For now, reporting at Lake Eola, I'm your Orange County community correspondent, Jana Manahalal, News 6.
Also in Orange County, there's trouble over trash. Changes are good. The days your garbage recycling and lawn waste are picked up change this week, though.
So the long and the short of it, recycling and yard waste will now be collected first. Then garbage and large items will be collected later in the week. Orange County Utilities says the switch will make trash service more efficient. Putting them on separate days should help cut down on people mixing up what goes in the trash, what's recyclable, to see your new collection days. I'm still trying to get used to it myself.
Right.
I'm going to be. Just look inside the story on clickorlando.com. We've added a link that lets you type in your address and double check your actual trash days.
Well,
3, 2, 1, Happy New Year!
Okay. New York's a day away from seeing a ton of trash from the confetti alone. This year, the Times Square ball drop will see something new.
The ball will descend and we will ring in 2026. Then at 4 minutes after, the ball will go up again. There'll be a flag reveal on One Times Square. We'll play America the Beautiful, and the ball will be lit in honor of the 250th anniversary of our country.
Man, I can't wait for the new year. Today, they tested the iconic crystal ball to make sure everything goes according to plan for the final minute of 2025. Then, the 12,000-pound ball will work overtime for a historic milestone.
All right, we need some good weather. I'll tell you what, we had some sunsets out there
Oh my
tonight.
gosh, they're so beautiful. The color.
Insane.
The whole Facebook feed looks just like that,
yeah.
Jonathan Kegis.
Yeah, and you know, it's going to be cold, and we're going to get to that, but we need to take a second to just look at this. These are all sent in by you guys at clickorlando.com/pins, also on the free News 6 weather app. Thank you, Chris Martinez in Orlando, for sending in this awesome picture. We're basically going to take a tour around Central Florida. Ken, looks like the sky was on fire in Rosemont there. Great, great color. There's the free News 6 weather app that you can download and upload these pictures. Best opportunity to get your photo on TV. Alan UCF in Orlando, Trish in Emerald Hills. Great color there. Heading up to the Oak Trails at Meadow Ridge. CGN Pins user, thank you so much for that. Titusville. Thank you, Laura, for sending in that awesome photo. Vicky C. in Bethune Beach. We also have some shadowing going on there, but look at the bright color on that shot. And then in Ocklawaha, Jan Schumacher, thank you for sending in these amazing pictures on what was a cold evening, and it's going to be another cold morning coming away. Cold weather advisory in play as air temperatures fall back into the 20s and 30s with the breeze factored in. It's going to feel like the upper 20s and lower 30s across the board as well. So that's everybody in Central Florida. It's going to be cold. You know the drill. Make sure you're taking care of yourselves. If you're outside tomorrow morning, layer up tomorrow. 31 is what we'll wake up to in Ocala. We'll be in the upper 20s in Denellen, Leesburg at 33, Mount Dora at 34. Palm Coast, we are also at 34 degrees. The tumble is well underway, already in the 30s in Palm Coast and in Denellen, 43 in Groveland. Holopah, we're at 47. At the Cape, we are at 46 degrees as we will fall again. Wake up tomorrow into the 20s and 30s across most of Central Florida. The breeze is still elevated, gusty at about 16 miles an hour in Leesburg and Claremont. We are going to keep that breeze elevated overnight. Live look outside in downtown Orlando with air temperatures already slipping into the upper 40s. Live look with our Light Orlando Delivering Hope Skycam. That breeze sustained out of the northwest, pumping in that chill at about 5 to 10 miles an hour. And again, tomorrow, if you're hanging out for New Year's Eve, it is going to be breezy. Gusts at times into that 15-ish mile per hour threshold. Again, it's not going to be anything too crazy. You'll notice the breeze, and it will make it feel cooler. The other byproduct of this is it has been dry across Central Florida. We're going to add the breeze to it. The relative humidities are going to be on the lower side. That fire risk is going to be elevated. Just be mindful if you're setting off fireworks tomorrow. Make sure you keep that water bucket nearby. That's good practice for any time, but certainly if you are shooting off fireworks tomorrow when it has been extremely dry, just make sure you're paying close attention. Highs tomorrow, mid to upper 50s. Lots of sunshine. That will be deceptive, but that's the key difference when you compare today to where we were to where we're going to be tomorrow is we are going to get our dominant sunshine back. We'll keep that to start 2026 after another cold morning in the 30s. If you're not a fan of the chill, wait till the weekend, guys. First weekend of 2026 looking very nice in the mid-70s.
Ooh, we'll take it. Thank you, Jonathan. All right, Jonathan warned us to take this cold seriously, so our handy newsman is walking us through how to protect our plants. Next at 10, what's really getting results at home?
Hey, it's News 6 anchor Eric Von Anken, the handy newsman. We're calling this edition of Getting Results at Home proper plant protection, because when the temperature drops and it gets cold outside, we get lots of calls from people asking, how do I protect my plants so they don't die? For that answer, we go to none other than this young man. Jim Hunter is the longtime owner of South Seminole Farm and Nursery, and Jim is also a master gardener himself. There are 3 steps, really. This is the 1st step, what you're doing right now.
Yeah, we want our plants to be wet going into the cold weather.
their survivability is much better if they're wet. So water them the morning before the cold weather.
The key, it sounds like you want the plant to dry, at least the leaves, before you cover it.
Yeah, you don't want wet leaves and cover those. You can get some leaf spot if you do.
Step 2, Jim, is to bring the plants inside if you can.
Yeah, if you've got potted plants or tropicals that you want to, they're in pots, you can bring them in your garage, your porch, your house, just someplace where the weather is not going to get them.
And step 3, Jim, is anything you can't take inside you want to cover.
Yeah, we would try to cover anything that we can't take in, a vegetable garden or a strawberry field or some big potted plants that are too heavy to move.
You were telling me a house hack is to tuck the cloth under the pot.
Yeah,
if you got a pot.
with these, if you got a pot, you can put them under. But we also have ground staples, which we can actually just nail into the ground, and that holds the cloth down too.
Another house hack is the material. So this is frost cloth.
Commercial frost cloth, which breathes. It lets sunlight in. You don't want to use plastic. That doesn't really hold heat. Sheets and bedding is good too, but it emits the sunlight. So if you use sheets, you got to take them off when it gets to be daylight and it warms up, then put them back on before it gets cold again.
Okay.
With frost cloth, you can let it stay on for about 10 days, 5 to 10 days easily.
If you want to buy frost cloth, you can get this pretty much at any home improvement store. And I should tell you, Jim has been in this spot since 1978, right, Jim?
Yes, sir.
And you have no plans to go anywhere.
No, we're having too much fun.
I like that. So if you have any more questions, get a hold of Jim. We're at South Seminole Farm and Nursery. I'm Eric Von Anken, getting results at home. News 6.
Thanks for joining us. You can find all of tonight's stories plus breaking news on News 6 Plus.
We'll see you at 11.